Margaret and I love going to France all the time, so I thought, right, okay, let's have 100 coffees with 100 random French people who I will approach, see how we get on. And it meant I had to learn French a lot better than I originally did. So, and that was my experience, and it just seemed, I suppose it was a bit quirky, I don't know, and it just seemed to take off from there. And this one chap, Patrice he was called, persuaded me to sit in his 2CV, well, trying to get 6 foot odd into one of those horrible little seats. Anyway, I got in the end, had a photograph. And when I came out, he pointed to the front and he told me that in 2024, he'd taken this thing across to Australia and he'd driven it from Perth to Brisbane. And between you and me, I wouldn't have driven it from Sheffield to Rotherham, let alone Perth to Brisbane. I also met someone whose relative had motor neurone disease, and that was probably the deepest conversation that we had. It was very interesting, and we were comparing notes, you know, how Margaret had coped and how their relative had coped. I mean, it is a truly awful disease.
Stories like Richard really matter because they remind people that fundraising isn't just about money, it's about people, relationships and experiences. And they inspire others to think maybe I could do something like that too, as they show the real human side of what hospice care means, and that behind every donation is a story of love, loss and kindness. That's what truly connects people to our work. Every donation makes a tangible difference. It allows St Luke's to provide specialist palliative care and dignity to people at the most difficult times in their lives. It supports not just patients but their families too, emotionally, practically, and sometimes even long after their loved one has died. Without donations, quite simply, we couldn't do what we do.
It was like being part of a family, I can't put it any other way. Everyone who came into that room treated you as if you were a member of their family. Well, you never get over grief, do you? But once I got myself back on a bit of a level plane, I thought, well, I've got to do something to, I don't know, register, raise funds. I was horrified when I found out how little funding hospice has received from the government. And when they told me that St Luke's here has to raise £11 million in a year through voluntary contributions, I think that's an absolute scandal. I don't know what I'm going to do about it next, but I'm going to be shouting about it. Not quite sure where yet, but I'm going to.